This is Dennis Peacock with another Transforum news brief. Today we're going to be talking about death penalties and deterrents. Death penalties and deterrents. Is there a crime unto death? What do you think? I think all of us have been shocked, nauseated. What other strong words do I want to use about the J.C. Dugard case? 11-year-old girl here from Lake Tahoe, 18 years in captivity, and it appears as if she had 2 children in that time living in a tent in somebody's backyard in suburbia. This goes under the category of, do you believe this, or are you like me, sometimes looking for a Woody Woodpecker to split the skies and say, that's all, folks. I mean, we're talking Looney Tunes here, that this could have happened. Well, it raises a number of issues. It raises a lot of issues. First question I want to ask is, what crimes merit? When somebody commits a crime, what do we do with it? Especially based on the severity of it. We've got the 3 strikes rule here in California and a lot of strange things going on. Well, the first option is life without parole. Now, I've read a lot over the years about the average cost of maintaining a single prisoner in most U.S. institutions. Figures vary from $25,000 to $40,000 a year to maintain each single prisoner. Life without parole, very expensive. But nevertheless, the crime here with JC would not have taken place if this maniac had not been released, but he was. What kind of a crime merits life without parole, no games, no pleas, no clemencies, nothing else? How about serving a full sentence, a mandated sentence, without time off for good behavior? What kind of crimes merit that? I've read, many of you have seen the same stuff. I've read the figures. Average time for second-degree murder, 7 years, 9 years. I don't know what the latest is. First-time rape, 4 years. 6 years, 7 years. Second-time rape, 11 years, and then they rape again. Crime continues. When do we have full sentences, again, without possibility of parole? And what is the standard for parole? Not just based on somebody's passion or compassion, but based on statistics. I think we're going to have to start looking a whole lot harder at that side of the equation. What about full accountability releases, where you are accountable for the next 5 years, next 10 years? How about implants under people's skin so you know where they are? You think that's too much? I don't think so. Not when the kind of crimes take place that take place of people who've been released. And then what about death, execution? What about public death? A lot of these crimes are done in private. The whole question is the death penalty a real deterrent? I have some questions about whether or not when the death penalty is carried out, shouldn't it be televised? You certainly don't have to watch it, but I think if culture has got enough courage to put somebody to death, they'd have enough courage to watch it if you're going to have a deterrent rather than in some clean antiseptic situation. And then we come to the second major issue, economics. Who pays for all this crime? Who pays, besides the victims and the family of the victims and friends of the victims? Who pays for this? I'm talking about cold hard cash. Well, taxpayers pay. And again, we're saying it can be anywhere from $25,000, $40,000 a year to hold somebody in incarceration. What about criminal restitution? What about when they get out of jail? They are still required to make some percentage of restitution. Those of you that are Christians, and by the way, restitution is the only biblical model. There were no prisons in ancient Israel. Rehabilitation, that's a whole other discussion. Or sometimes in my darker moments, I've thought, what we ought to do is buy an island somewhere in the world, that's maybe 20 or 30 miles long and wide, and just drop the really tough guys down on it from a helicopter. Obviously, let them down, stay alive. Let them work it out themselves. Let them have their own culture and see, how once you go there, you're there. Now, I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying I have thought about it. I'm sure some of you have thought about some stuff too. Why? Because we're sick and tired of the way the system works. Criminal justice, friends, it's an unfinished debate. This is a Transforum. Let's engage.